Hi, I'm Graham. Welcome back to Man vs Film, and this is a top 10 of movies you can watch right now on Amazon Prime UK for the month of March 2018, and I have got some great movies on this list for you this time, especially that number one movie, which may be one of my favourite movies this century. Let's get started. Number 10, Side Effects. Emily Taylor, despite being reunited with her husband from prison, becomes severely depressed with emotional episodes and suicide attempts. Her psychiatrist, after conferring with her previous doctor, eventually prescribes an experimental new medication. The plot thickens when the side effects of the drug lead to Emily killing her husband in a sleepwalking state. I'm a huge fan of Steven Soderbergh. I like these big filmmakers that take detours into genre filmmaking, and with his best Alfred Hitchcock attempt, he tries to make one of those thrillers that just lets you into this character's this little slice of life and gives you a really good mystery. And that's exactly what Side Effects is. It gives you great characters, it gives you a plot that twists and turns, that just changes everything as it goes along until that huge reveal at the end that repurposes a lot of what you've seen prior to it. It's very well done, very exciting, and one of those movies that came out and faded into the ether. Time to check it out. Number 9, My Life as a Courgette. After his mother's disappearance, Courgette is befriended by a police officer who accompanies him to his new foster home filled with other orphans his age. At first he struggles to find his place in this strange, hostile environment, yet with the police officer's help and his newfound friends, Courgette eventually learns to trust and might find true love. I've recommended My Life as a Courgette a couple of times, but I feel that you're not taking me seriously enough. This 63-minute movie is tremendous. It packs an emotional gut punch. It gives you characters that you are instantly with, you are attracted to, you look onto their side and you want them to get through these tough times that they have ahead of them. The animation style is stunning, but it's more than just an animated movie. If it's not your kind of thing, please give this one a go. It is fantastic. Emotionally, it just strikes all the right chords, and long after seeing this one, this is a movie that has stuck with me for the longest while, and I'm sure will continue to do so. Number 8, In Time. In a future where people stop aging at 25, but are engineered to live only one more year, having the means to buy your way out of the situation is a shot at immortal youth. Here, Will finds himself accused of murder and on the run with a hostage, a connection that becomes an important part of the way against the system. I really like Andrew Niccol. I feel as if he has some of the best ideas for movies that I've ever come across, and I genuinely love to check them out. As usual with his stuff, it never fully comes together in the way that you'd hoped, but it gets extremely close, and the idea behind this is something that really drives the movie forward. The fact that you have a countdown timer on your life, it's constantly winding down and it's there on your wrist for you to see all the time. You can gamble, you can earn time, you can do whatever's required to live longer, or your time could be as short as you're willing to give it. It is a fantastic idea, a decent movie, and one that was kind of crapped upon unfairly, in my opinion. Number 7, Lights Out. When Rebecca left home, she thought she'd left her childhood fears behind. Growing up, she was never really sure of what was and wasn't real when the lights went out. And now her little brother Martin is experiencing the same unexplained and terrifying events that had once tested her sanity and threatened her safety. Again, we've got another movie with a fantastic idea. It's one of those ghost movies where there is something in the darkness. When there is a light upon you, it cannot get to you, but when the lights go out, all the bets are off and this thing can get you. The story gets a little bit mixed and not fully formed near the end and a little bit rushed. The idea behind the monster and that is fantastic, although a little bit too much backstory is given there. And it gets into some set pieces that are a little bit up and down with their quality, more the idea behind them rather than the set pieces themselves, but it works still. It's still an entertaining movie. It's not one of the classics, but it is a fun 80-minute ride. Number 6, Peppermint. 5 years after her husband and daughter are killed in a senseless act of violence, a woman comes back from a self-imposed exile to seek revenge against those responsible and the system that let them go free. Peppermint stars Jennifer Garner as this mother who is wrong. This movie is directed by Pierre Morel, the man who brought us Taken, as well as some not so good movies, and this is primarily just more of the same. This family member has everything taken from her, goes away, learns the skills that she will need to exact revenge, comes back to get that revenge. It is a little bit silly, but I had a lot of fun with this one. You need to go into it remembering to disengage the brain and just watch it for what it is, kind of popcorn entertainment, and you'll get some fun out of this action movie. Number 5, Collateral Beauty. When a successful New York advertising executive suffers a great tragedy, he retreats from life while his concerning friends try desperately to reconnect with him. He seeks answers from the universe by writing letters to love, time and death, but it's not until his notes bring back unexpected personal responses that he begins to understand how these constants interlock in a life fully lived, and how even the deepest laws can reveal moments of meaning and beauty. Collateral Beauty is a pretty decent movie. It's never going to be fantastic. It was kind of crapped upon when it came out in the cinema, and I gave it a miss for the longest while, but I'm kind of glad that I saw it. It was a little bit more fun and earnest than I expected. It certainly has that Oscar wannabe feeling about it, but it never fully embraces that, and Will Smith does a really good acting job in this movie that had some genuine surprises, some genuine fun moments, and it's a pretty decent movie. Number 4, The Babadook. A widowed mother, plagued by the violent death of her husband, battles with her son's fear of a monster lurking in the house, but soon discovers a sinister presence all around her. The Babadook is a fantastic horror movie, but it's not in the typical vein of horror movies. This is a little more cerebral, a little bit of something that gets under your skin, something you have to think about and work with to get the most out of it. It is not for everybody. It is a movie that, for the first half hour, put me on the back foot, made me uncomfortable. But there is a reason behind that, and by the time the movie finished, I was engrossed with this woman, her situation, what brought this monster on, and I thought it was a really fantastic piece of filmmaking. Number 3, Nightmare Beach. After a criminal motorcycle rider is put to death, he comes back from the dead to seek murderous revenge against the residents of a Florida town. It just happens to be spring break, which means there are plenty of victims to choose from. I love my slasher movies, and this one from the late 80s is another one that fits into that cheesy but good category that I love so much. There is plenty of gore and deaths on hand here for you to check out. It is a rather glossy slasher movie, but it has a lot of fun moments in it. It's not something to be taken seriously. It's definitely beer and pizza movie, the kind of thing that I go to when I don't want to think about film. I just want to sit back and enjoy something that is not great but fun. Number 2, The Rules of Attraction. The incredibly spoiled and overprivileged students of Camden College are the backdrop for an unusual love triangle between a drug dealer, a virgin and a bisexual classmate. Roger Avery's fantastic movie, The Rules of Attraction, is something that I've loved since I first saw it way back in the early 2000s. It is a story that is hard to really break down to what makes it so great. The filmmaking style is pretty terrific. The story is a rather nihilistic tale of 3 people who long for certain things, but none of them deserve their rewards, and it's just people at college doing the most reprehensible things, and it's somehow easing by, not really too worried about the damage they are causing to the people round about them. I know it's unusual to talk about a movie in such negative connotations, but come out of it going, I pretty much think it's fantastic, which I do, which should lead you to a little bit of curiosity about this one. I would love to know your thoughts on this movie in particular. Number 1, The Guest. A soldier introduces himself to the Peterson family, claiming to be a friend of their son who died in action. After the young man is welcomed into their home, a series of accidental deaths seem to be connected to his presence. Where do I start with The Guest? If you haven't seen it, you can stop right now, go and check it out, because it is one of the best movies that I have possibly recommended to you. A fantastic performance from Dan Stevens as the lead character in this movie that seems to touch on several different tones and genres, but never fully commits to any of them, yet it somehow works. It is a really good mystery, it is a really good mood piece, there is lots of atmosphere here, great action if that's what you're after, black humour by the bucket load. It is set up almost like a horror movie, but mixed with thriller, action, comedy, drama, all different kinds of things, and everything about the movie works immensely well, from the score to the direction to the writing to the acting. It is the full package and one of the best movies I think I've ever seen in my life. I had an instant attraction to this movie when I saw it, and I've watched it several times since it came out, and every time I just love it for what it is. Pure, fantastic entertainment. So there we have it, 10 movies for you to check out this March. I hope you find something there that you want to check out. Have I missed anything off my list? Should there be a movie on there that I could have been recommending? Let me know in the comment box below and I'll check it out, and maybe I'll make it onto my list next month. If you haven't already done so, like this video, subscribe, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.